The AsIs Podcast does not necessarily hold the views or opinions of our guests. The guests have a right to express their own thoughts, and those thoughts are protected with their freedom of speech. What they say is what they say, and we allow them the right to speak on their own behalf. The AsIs Podcast is not responsible nor liable for the opinions and stories of others. Welcome to another edition of the AsIs Podcast. Today's guest is a special guest. He has a very famous father who's unfortunately incarcerated. There's a lot of stuff going on around him right now, but we're going to get into it and break it down. My special guest is Larry Bernard Hoover. Larry, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
How you doing today, man?
I'm great. I can't complain.
That's what's up. Hey, man, you got one of the most famous black fathers in the world. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
First, let me start off like this. A lot of people don't realize that Larry Hoover has other kids other than a Larry Jr. in Chicago. Why do you think that is?
More because, I'm more laid back, you know what I'm saying? I ain't in the spotlight, you know what I'm saying? I'm 52 years old. I'm his first child. I'm his firstborn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was raised in the house with his mama, his brothers, and his sister. I mean, I was raised there. I lived there all my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just more laid back. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm just not in the spotlight like that.
Let me ask you, how did you manage to stay out of the spotlight? Or how did you manage to stay away from all of the whirlwind of stuff that's going on?
Well, everybody in Chicago knows who I am. Everybody, in a lot of other places too, everybody who is somebody. But this whole new internet and social media stuff, I never did. I never ever had a Facebook page or Instagram page. This is existed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just not getting an Instagram page. I didn't even do that. My daughter made that up for me. I ain't even know nothing. I don't even look at it or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just, but you can't go nowhere in Chicago where the person don't know.
How does that feel? How does that feel sometimes being so known and especially in times like these? Because it can be kind of dangerous. I mean, you Larry Hoover's son.
But see, me myself, as far as Chicago go, I have no worries with that. I know everybody. I mean, I always had a good relationship with, whatever they say, the oppositions or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I never had no problem with them.
Right.
So, I mean, I got along great with them.
Right.
Always lived, me and my mama, we always lived in, strong neighborhoods or bicycle neighborhoods and stuff. I never had a problem with them.
Right.
They knew who I was and everything, But, as far as outside of Chicago by the social media stuff and not being in it and stuff like that, when people find out who I am, they doubt it. They were like, oh, that ain't him.
Right.
That ain't him. That ain't LJ. That ain't Junior. You know what I'm saying? And people thinking, a lot of people be thinking he me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that by his name being Junior, which his name is Junior, that he's older than me.
Right.
That, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm the oldest.
Right. Yeah. Let me ask you this. And at the end of the day, let me just give my disclaimer. I do not condone or associate myself with people who wish to be in this kind of a lifestyle. I don't sell drugs. I don't do anything illegal, but I built a foundation dealing with people like that, and I represent that. So I'm never going to try to put you in a situation to where you would have to tell on yourself. So if I ask a question that's, anywhere remotely close to you feeling that way, you just don't answer. But I'm going to be mindful of the kind of questions I ask, but some things I just have to. Are you a member of Growth and Development or Gangster Disciple?
Growth and Development.
Growth and Development. Okay. Break down the difference between Growth and Development and Gangster Disciple for me.
Well, Gangster Disciples are people who didn't, how would you say it, didn't convert over to growth and development. Gangster disciples are people who are not doing nothing. I mean, gangster disciples are people who are not trying to do nothing with their life. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to progress any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Ain't working with the community, ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know, me myself, it's about gangster disciples are people who are not actually with the vision. They're not actually, they talk the vision, but they're not living the vision. Put it that way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what gangster disciples are. Growth and development people, that's people who sat down and took the time to read and understand what's going on with the vision. You know what I'm saying? And making progress doing stuff with their life. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's between, in my opinion. That's what it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, me, myself, I left Chicago in 2010, moved down to Mississippi. I was down here 4 years before anybody even knew who I was. I came down here with absolutely after $270 in my pocket. I was trained with.
Right.
And went from there and grew to own my own restaurants, several cars, my own house, and everything. I came from nothing, so I call that truly growth and development.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
And that should be applauded. But I asked that question because I know your father initially started Gangster Disciple. And Gangster Disciples were initiated in what year? Do you know?
Well, it hit the streets. It got to us in 1984.
Okay.
1984, I was 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
That's when the new concept hit the streets to us in 1984.
You're saying the concept of growth and development or Gangster Disciple in general?
The concept of growth and development.
Okay.
Concept of growth and development, 1984.
Okay. Because
it converted over. Well, get right, the concept of growth and development, but it was already established in prison. I did not know that until later on that that's what was going on inside the prisons, and
right.
then it came to the streets. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because your father was incarcerated. He went to jail in 1973. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And he went to jail for actually killing someone by the name of Willie Pookie Young, a 19-year-old neighborhood drug dealer.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
Okay, that was alleged. As a result of that, it says that he had been under investigation from that for 17 years for money laundering, extortion, et cetera, et cetera. It took a long time for them to make something stick. And once they finally did make something stick, they gave him 150 to 200 years, 6 life sentences. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me ask you this. How close are you with your father, and can you really be that close to a person when he's facing that type of time?
And my father, we were real close. Close. Okay. From the moment he went to prison, when he was in the county jail fighting the case in 73, my grandmother took me every visiting day. And my brother was a baby. He was a newborn.
You talking about Larry Jr.?
Yeah, he was a newborn. And the fact, the day that he got convicted, the day that they sentenced him, Larry was born that day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And anyway, my grandmother always took us. I can't remember not going to see him every visiting day. And when Larry got a little, older, to go to, she took both of us.
Right.
I mean, for years, it's like we lived in prison. We knew everybody in the jail, the
right.
wardens, the captains, we knew everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All the inmates, we knew them.
Right.
And until we was old enough to go on our own.
Right.
And then after the years went by and everything, when they sent them to the feds, that's when I lost contact. I ain't gonna say lost contact because I always talked to him on the phone. I just wasn't going all the way down there visiting like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was doing other things, living my life doing other things.
He was in ADX
You know what I'm saying?
Florence, Colorado.
Right.
Okay.
It wasn't no excuse. I still just got my butt up and went down there, seen him and everything. But it wasn't like I wasn't talking to him. And I was talking to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then stuff was going on in the street that wasn't right once they locked up all those guys back then.
Right.
And that's when I stepped back. That's when I stepped back because I didn't want to be a part of nothing that was going on out there. You know what I'm saying? And people took that as, you know, me and my father was into it or something. I don't know why they did that. I don't know. You know how rumors spread, this, that, and other.
Yeah.
And they just took it as that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, my brother, he was never involved in the streets, in the gangs or nothing like that. He went to school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He went to school. He was never much about no part of the gangs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why people think he is now because he's not. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's not. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, that's my brother. I love him to death. You know what I'm saying? But people think he's, you know, I don't know why. You know
I think part of it might be because of the way he looks. He looks exactly like Larry. He looks just like his father. Like he looks like he spit him out.
Both of us, he does.
Yeah, so that I think that's why. But you know, let me go back to what you were saying because I have a bit of a cheat sheet. Let me say rest in peace first to your grandmother. I like that lady.
Yeah, she liked you too. Yep, she liked you too.
Yeah, we had a relationship actually, me, her, and my girl. My girl used to, you know, go over there. She would do her hair, take care of her, do whatever. And I tried to do whatever I could too. And one of the reasons why is because I believe that, you know, even though I'm not a GD, I don't belong to any organization, but I was just fortunate enough to move around in Chicago. And a lot of that was partially because of some GDs. There's one in particular mutual friend that we have, and, you know, I'm not going to name him, but, you know, he held me down with a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, I always believe, like, you know, dudes be talking all this street code and honor stuff, you know, so you running around representing something, and, you know, if what you're representing, their family is in need, be it whether you could tell they need it or they don't. I think you're supposed to step up and do what you're supposed to do. And, you know, if you GD, you know, you better take care of that man mama. You better take care of that man wife. You better do what you can. So I always had that mentality. So I always looked out that way because she was cool too. She was a cool lady. So I know she loved Larry. So I believe everything you say when you say, you know, she brought you guys to the prison and all of that. Since she's been gone, I mean, this might be a dumb question, but how do you feel like an absence as far as the family is concerned?
Definitely. I'm talking about that's a big piece of the puzzle right there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, it's truly absent.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, me just know, used to see her sitting in her chair. You know what she said it.
Yeah.
She said right there, smoking a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it hurts my heart every time I walk through that door and she's not sitting there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, I got it in my mind like she upstairs in the bed. That's how I just put it in my mind like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, it's a truly a big absence, and a lot of stuff wouldn't be going on that's going on. She was still living too.
Yeah, she was feisty.
Yeah, you know, a lot of you know, it ain't nothing but me and Diane left.
How was Diane, man?
She down here in Mississippi with me. She came day before yesterday. She came. She down here with me now.
For those listening who don't know, Diane is Larry's sister, which is your aunt.
She's the last living sibling that my father has.
Wow.
All I know, besides me, on the immediate side of the family, it's just me and Diane left.
Wow.
You know, everybody else passed away.
Wow.
All my aunts, all my father, my grandmother's sisters, my grandmother's brothers, everybody did.
How does that? How do you think that makes Larry, your father, feel? Like, do you ever talk to him about that?
Yeah, we talked about that. Though. He's really upset because they won't let Diane come visit him. for no reason. I mean, they just deny her business for no reason at all. And that's his only living sibling.
Why? Why?
And he been fighting. He been fighting, writing awards, writing the prisons and stuff, and the boards and stuff. And they ain't giving him no solid reason why they won't let her come see him. She's not a criminal. She's not a. You know what I'm saying? She's not a threat, not a criminal. They just won't let her come.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So, do you think a lot of his rights are being violated?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Why do you think that is? Let's get into some real shit. Like, all right, so I want to get into it. I know everybody is fighting to get Larry out because they're fighting to get him out, and they think that he's been in jail for enough time. And I kind of agree with that. But at the end of the day, I just think that because so many people have misused his name and have misused sayings like on folks and on Larry or on GD, you know what I mean? Right. That kind of stuff. It makes the establishment, and establishment meaning white America, believe that he has a power that I don't know if he still has that power. I think he has influence, but I don't know if he has the power to organize 20 million young black men across this country and make them go revolutionize something. So with that being said, how realistic to you, based on what they're doing to him, do you think they're going to really let him out?
Well, by law, the law states that they have to release him. Up under the law, they just holding them. So I mean, I'm not doubting it. I'm not doubting it because anything can happen. But like we fight strong to get them out, they fight strongly to keep them in.
Right.
And as you were saying, the how people misuse his name and stuff. That's why they holding them.
Right.
That's why they holding them.
Exactly.
That's the reason. That's the reason that they said because they said he's still relevant out here. That's what they're saying.
Right.
So, when people, and then they blamed him for not only what the gangster disciples do, they blamed him for what the black disciples do also.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They hold it all that against him, And then killing part, they know his movement. They know every step, everything is monitored with him. You know what I'm saying? Everything he do is monitored.
Right.
And they know he's not talking to no one. If a person said they talking to him and they said Larry said this, they lying.
Right.
They lying because he don't do that.
But see, here's the problem with that. There are so many. Do you know how many times listen, man, do you know when I first started on your story way back in the day, do you know how many people told me they talked to Larry and they heard this from Larry and this, that, and other? And what I'm trying to say is I know they be lying. At the time, I didn't know they was lying, but that's what people do. People, to make themselves appear bigger than what they are. Yo, I talked to Larry or he wrote me a letter or whatever. And when that hits the streets, there's a lot of people that are informing things. Obviously, it gets back to them, and that's what they believe. But now, if we move along to today, right now, you guys are getting ready to have a powerful concert with Drake and Kanye. Jay Prince is involved with it. Wendy, Larry's mother, is involved with it. Larry Jr. is involved with it. How do you think that's going to be perceived to white America?
Well, me, myself, I'm saying that I'm thinking that same thing you thinking, that the white people gonna be like, wow, these very important people try, involved in, like with Larry, you know what I'm saying? They gonna look at it like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like saying, getting, they just, if you can get those guys, they think he can gather 20 million people with 20 million men together and form a ride or something. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that ain't the case though. I just left out down Colorado a couple weeks ago visiting.
Okay.
He's not on that. He's not thinking about that in no type of way. He's been a man truly is tired. Right. He's ready to come home. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's been ready to come home, but he's tired. You know what I'm saying? He's a little old man now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's people think that he gonna, like I told him, I said, people out there on the street think Jesus Christ.
Right.
They think you could get out and say the whole Chicago.
Right.
He said that's why I'm still in here, because people out there think I'm Jesus Christ. That's what he said.
And you know what? He is 100% right. Like, I wrote your father one time, he didn't respond back to me, but when I did the
I know he ain't
documentary,
gonna write. No, he's just not gonna write nobody back.
and that's
He don't
cool.
write
No.
nobody back.
Hey, you know what? At the time when I first started in this game, man, I was green. You know what I mean? I knew the codes of the street and all that, but as far as maneuvering and what would make common sense, I didn't know. And if I'd have knew what I knew now, I would have knew not to write him, because he's right in not writing people back, because that letter would have been probably worth millions of dollars, or whoever he writes it back, or misconstrued, depending on what he said. But he's very intelligent based on what you just said, because that would be the general perception, that because people do believe is the equivalent to a black Jesus Christ, and he has this power to verbally get people to do things, that they're scared of that. How do you think we can change? How do you think we can get to change that vision? And is it changeable?
Now, I want you to repeat that question again.
Because people look at him as a black Jesus Christ, and because that's the way the establishment is seeing it, is there a way to change that vision towards him?
Only way they can change that vision towards him, they got to release him, and they see for themselves that he is not even thinking, he's not heading that direction. He's not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know they're going to make some type of stipulations for him getting out, even when if they do release him.
Right.
No, you can't go back to Chicago. You can't do this. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you know, of course, they're going to say you can't be around no felons. You know that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get them the perfect reason to lock them back up. One felon, they probably just lock them back up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For no reason.
Yeah.
You know, but only way you can change that, like you said, you got to let him out. And he showed the people that he's not. Now, he's showing them now, you know, he stepped down as chairman. He's not no longer the chairman of the nation.
I didn't know that.
You know, he's a former. He's the former. He's no more. He's no longer that no more.
So he's not a part of growth and development at all?
No.
Okay. Is there someone that replaced him?
No. He is not leaving. He did not leave it to no one. He don't want to be none that type of legacy to nobody. Wow. He don't want nobody to say that he left this person or whatever person he left it to the
Wow, that's crazy. So,
yes.
So that's definitely going to leave an opening. Do people in the streets know that yet?
I don't know. I ain't been hearing it ringing no bell. I think a few people do. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't. You know, me myself, I don't mess with them type of guys no more. I've been away from that stuff for a while, so I haven't heard that.
Wow. So just to make it perfectly clear, you're saying that Larry Hoover has denounced growth and development and Gangster Disciple. He's totally stepped away from both organizations.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. He did that. I mean, I'm not gonna say growth and development. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that back. Okay. He's no longer chairman. Well, I guess if he stepped down, that means both of them. I guess.
Yes,
you know
that's what that means.
You know, I mean, if he stepped down, yeah, both of them, I guess. But you know, I know he always have been very adamant with growth development since he really, brought it about. You know,
right?
And just the people in the street wasn't living with it.
Right.
You know, you'd be amazed how many do though. You know what I'm saying? You'd be amazed how it changed a lot of people's lives though. I mean, amazed. I know people with high positions. You know what I'm saying? As far as political or with damn good jobs, and also people that didn't have nothing.
Right.
That sit back and listen to the teachers and follow the rules and regulations and got to where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Firemen, police officers. I mean, a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Who just change their whole life because school.
Yeah. GD is definitely that strong. I've witnessed it. I've seen it for myself. And I don't think it's just in Chicago. GD has spread.
But see, I mean, cut you off. I'm sorry. But
no, you don't.
But they gotta realize and the people that a lot of people that I know who lives that it changed, they wasn't GDs. I mean, some of them weren't GDs, And they were just regular people, regular walk of life.
Right.
Regular people who just, believed in the teachings. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in no gangs or affiliated no kind of way like that. They just, like, man, strangers don't walk up to me, how much your father changed my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Women, men, I'm talking about a lot of people.
Right. Let me ask you a question and think about it for a second. Give me one of the things that you think, one of the things or the rules or the sayings or teachings of your father as far as growth and development is, and tell me how did it help and affect you?
Well, okay. The things that I was doing before I actually, I knew better. I knew better, and I just didn't do better. Put it that way, okay?
Right.
I knew better, but I just didn't do better. I knew the teachers. I've read this stuff several times.
Right.
Just wasn't living it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when I was sitting back in Chicago, and I got out the street and everything, working construction. You know what I'm saying? Got laid off and everything, and I sit up there looking at my books and stuff on my dresser. We got laid off, and I was getting unemployment. Anyway, I went up there, grabbed my book, I got to read everything, and one page was telling me I had to get out the environment that I was at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In order to get away from it, you got to get all the way away from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just packed up and left. Literally 5 days later, I was gone. I just got up and left, tried something, got away from my environment, got away from the people I'd be around, period. You know what I'm saying?
Let me interject real quickly. That's like one of the, I had to take a drug program when I was incarcerated, and it's one of the steps is changing your people, places, and things. So it's similar to that, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just got away from all. Got up and left. I'm talking about with nothing, literally nothing.
Right.
And came down here, started fresh, and never looked back. I never looked back. And I was down here 4 years. I seen all the GDs down here. I seen a lot of bicycle, everything down here, because it's everywhere you go.
Right. But
they didn't know me. I didn't know them. And and then when they found out who I was, they couldn't believe it. They was like, that's the old boy who owned the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? They did not even know. Right. Everybody came to my restaurant, the mayor, the chief of police, the news people, fire department. Everybody came to my restaurant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But guess what?
What?
When they found out who I was, they stopped supporting. So this stuff got its pros and cons too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you saying as a result of you being Larry's son, they felt like you were what? Continuing the education or the teaching of him or the thoughts of GD? That's what was implied because you are his son?
I don't know what they was thinking. This is my thought on what they was thinking. They had no real knowledge of the man. You know what I'm saying? People got quick to stereotype him. Right. And they don't even know him. You know what I'm saying? Because when they found out who I was, the chief of police, he came around the corner on doing a lunch rush and said he wanted to talk to me. He said they had just had a meeting about me. He said he couldn't believe that I was the guy. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I said, yeah. And he was like, man, I told him I know him. That ain't him. They said they showed me all type of pictures of me and everything. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But look, I said, I ain't got no record. You know what I'm saying? I don't get no trouble. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mess with none of these guys down here, period. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but they got that wrong. Understand? All they know is Larry Hoover, the bad part of what the press put out there. But you know what? Let's just be fair. Let's be fair. I want to be fair as possible.
not to say Larry Hoover himself did any of these things, but I think people's perceptions may be that way because I'll give you a great example. There was a guy 2 weeks ago in Mississippi who just killed somebody, and he had already killed 14 people. He was a gangster disciple. His reward inside of that organization, they had something called, I think it's the killer mob. So as a result of him killing his 14th person, they made him president of the killer mob with inside of the gangster disciples. Now, this was in the newspapers, all on the news. Now, not to say that that has anything to do with Larry Hoover. Let me be clear with that. But because they're falling under that umbrella, when you hear gangster disciple and you think Larry Hoover, and with the press and with the rumors and innuendo, people will immediately think like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's created something that has taken on a life of his own and took off. So negativity sells quicker than anything positive. So I think that might be the reason, because you keep, you hear these guys when they do these things, even in the prisons, GDs have some power. You know what I mean? But everybody's going to attribute that to its founder. And that's Larry Hoover. Let me ask you this. Where you're at now, and be honest, does being the son of Larry Hoover give you clout in the streets?
Yeah, it got its, it got its pros and cons, but anybody that know me will tell you that I never drilled on that. I never drilled on the fact that who my father was. Always been me.
Right.
Always been me. Always either come up as a young guy, you know what I'm saying? I always, just had my own guys, you know what I'm saying? I always just been me. I ain't never try to be big eyes, little you. I ain't never try to. That's why everybody loved me. I go anywhere I want to go in Chicago, because I ain't never been the guy that that's Larry's son when he put up bodyguards and all that. I ain't never been that guy. I ain't never been that guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it does carry a little weight. Don't get me wrong, it does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But anybody tell you, and you know me, Spaz, I'm just a regular Joe. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't a regular. We're not gonna say that. Stop. Not gonna.
No. You're right. You know what I'm saying? But many times that you have met me.
I know what you're trying to say, but you ain't no regular Joe. You can never.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'll come on, and people be like, man, I done had females that I done met. You know what I'm saying? We dated them when I had nice times and everything. And when they find out who I am, like, why you didn't tell me you was? So ain't nothing I go around to, and they said they can't believe it, because I don't. What do they be expecting? They be expecting a notorious gangster killer type person or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But back to what you were saying about this guy, whoever he was, because this 14th person and all that, and then it's all up under the umbrella of GD, this, that, and other. That's for people who don't know no better. That's for people who stereotype, because GD, even GD, Gangster Disciple, that's not what they about.
Right.
That's not what they're about. Going around killing everybody and all that old stuff. That's not even what they're about.
Right.
And then the younger generation that's called themselves GDs, they're not real. They're not GDs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just call themselves. They have no concept. They have no knowledge of if they had any type of knowledge, period, of GD. I ain't gonna even say growth and development. I'm gonna just say GD.
Right.
They wouldn't be doing the shit that they doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Do you think that there will ever be a fix for the problems going along with the gangs in Chicago? Is there a way to change it?
Yeah, it's definitely a way. It's definitely a way to change it. See, why these people who are so afraid of the so-called quote unquote gangs, or the elderly, the people who scared to come out their house and all that other stuff, they need to come out their house. They need to. You got a lot of them harvesting these tyrants, these little killers. You know what I'm saying? Right. Nephews and grandsons and all that stuff, living with them, sleeping all day, wake up at night, have to go outside and kill every damn body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta let them know that no, you're not staying here. You got to leave here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, the community got to come, wherever, all over Chicago, where all this stuff happening, the community got to come out together as a whole. You can't depend on the police. You can't depend on the elder GDs, elder vice, elder Stones to stop this violence out here. No, everybody got to come out as a whole and say, we're tired. Enough is enough.
Right.
Quit killing our kids. You know what I'm saying? You know, what the scared your house when we get shot up. Man, sacrifices must be made somewhere. But whoever house is shot up, we're going to find out who these kids is, and we're going to put an end to it. We're going to stop this. Everybody got to come out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, you can't depend on the police. You can't depend on the mayor. None of that. The community got to come out and stop this.
Right.
You can't wait for Larry Hoover to he's gonna stop all this, like he's Cyrus from the war. You know what I'm saying? King, you did. Get the fuck off.
Hey, but you know what? I forgot about that movie. But they killed Cyrus, and that's the danger. And I think that's what I don't think people realize that when you. I think let me go here. I think the reason why some of the organizations have collapsed and they're now going wild is because there's no structure. And the reason why there's no structure is because everybody knows that if you step up and you become the head of it, then people coming to get you and they're gonna chop your head off. Yeah. So
right.
nobody,
even if you're doing something righteous, they don't still do it. Yeah,
right. So with that being said, when you say Cyrus, the danger is a pro and con for Larry Hoover as well. If they were to think he could come out and change everything, because then he would be a target.
But you know what though? Yeah, definitely that. We know that also. But the main it'll be a target. But in my eyesight, and a lot it would just the people on the street that's the target.
Right.
It'll be the other. They'll better probably knock his head off and get somebody thinking people in the streets did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they cause an all-white war in the streets.
And that's that's realistic. Have you ever sat down and had a conversation with him based on what we're talking about now? And if you have, what did he say?
No, he like I just told you, we were talking about. I said to people out there think he's Jesus Christ. He's like, yeah, that's why I'm still in here. You know, because people out there think I'm Jesus Christ. But no, you know, we talk about like. You know, he's saying like all his friends, all his friends that he came up with, all of them dead. All of them passed away. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, and who do he? Even the guys that when he was on the case with, you know what I'm saying? I mean, majority of them guys he didn't even know. Wow. He didn't even know majority of them, you know? Wow. And the ones that he did know, I mean, what they died. I mean, they died, or, you know, they old just like he is. Right. You know? I mean, when I tell you, brother, that this man is not thinking about it. He just want to get out and live the rest of his life, the rest of the years he got left. That's all. For real. Right. Let me ask you, one of the biggest pushers of Larry Hoover has been Jay Prince consistently for years. I've been around him, and he's definitely an advocate for Larry since I've known him. How do you feel about that? I mean, I feel like he's doing a lot of good things. I feel like he's very adamant and he's very dedicated to, the release of my father, and and it's well appreciated too. Don't think it's not. It's well appreciated, and I mean, from my eyesight, every chance he get, he's pushing to the release of that man, and. It's a beautiful thing, man. The way he, can, it's good to have a person like that with connections that can get other people in high positions involved. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's a good thing. I mean,
I can speak up on that on behalf of that what you're saying with him as well. Because like I said, I think when I first met Jay Prince, it was behind Larry Hoover. And from the day that I met him, he's always been an advocate for Larry Hoover. So I've seen that over the years. He's definitely been loyal. And you know what's crazy about it? Like, he has his own reputation, but outside of that, he has a quality that I think a lot of black men do not have. And that's one of loyalty. Like Hoover was his man. You know what I'm saying? And he's still holding them down. Like, yo, we don't do, it's rare that you see dudes do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes just don't do that. Why do you think that is, man? Why do you think the loyalty leaves when people are out of sight?
Man, because a lot of people think about self. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just think about self. Right. They don't, I don't know, when a person's in that position, like far as prison go, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna say my son, for instance, he's in prison, and he's in prison up under the same act as my father. And I'm not saying this because this is my son. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He actually wasn't nowhere around. They got him up under the Larry Hoover Act. They got him up under that's Larry Hoover grandson. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And really, and you know, he's very, very angry now. You know what I'm saying? He's not a model inmate like my father, because he's incarcerated for something he did not do, and he's nuts. You know what I'm saying? You know, but like I told him about the people that he was hanging around before he got in trouble. I said, the people not gonna be there for you. I said, they might be there 1 or 2 years, whatever. They gonna forget about you up in there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You need to stop hanging with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and the same guys that you hang with, this one right here in particular will get your ass locked up. And that's what happened. And that one in particular did not reach out for him while he was in there. Don't about, I mean, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Wow. You know, I mean, loyalty, loyalty is very rare. It is. Very rare. It is. Very rare. It is. You know. And that's why I say shouts out to Jay Prince for that. You know, people hear all kinds of stuff, you know, but I don't go based on what I hear. I go based on what I see. And because I've personally been around him to witness it, you know, I think that's to be commended. Man, you know what? I've spoken to you now. I think there's some things that we need to go over again. So I'm just going to say this is part 1. We're going to come back and do it again at another time. In the meantime, when was you say you just seen your father 2 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, yeah. So it is not really, but what would you say to him? Wait, you know what? Does he have access to any type? Well, you know what? He's on lockdown. So that's a dumb question, Shabazz. I'm going to ask a stupid question. I'm thinking he in a regular joint, because the regular joints, dudes got phones. You know what I mean? And they can listen to a podcast or whatever. Like, my last question to you is to describe what he says that jail is like. Where he at, it is, where he's incarcerated at, it is inhumane. It is not fit for no person to be at. He says that it's a place where a sane person will be drove insane. You have to have a very strong mind to be where he's incarcerated at. So there's no physical contact, correct? None. Okay. Does the showers come to him? Are they already in the cell? Does he get to come out? I think it's already in the cell. Yeah. ADX Florence, Colorado is nothing to play with. Like, it is. Yo, I've been to Colorado. I was actually in Colorado. Actually, I sent your grandma to Colorado to go see him when we did that project. I remember. Yeah, I did that a long time ago. But I mean, I know that must be like, when you walk into jail, man, how do you feel? Like, what is the feeling like walking in there? You know what, though, bro? You know, when I first went down to Colorado cell, I was like, wow, this is crazy, right? This building, it's a small building. Right. It's a real small building that you walk into. Right. But going down, like, you're like going down. Right. Like underground, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyway, when they brought him out, I hadn't seen them in a while when I first went to see him. You know what I'm saying? And When they brought him out, he was still looking good and everything, you know what I'm saying, you know. But it was sad because I'm used to him being so clean cut and you know, pretty decent dressed and everything, you know. And he just, you know, and when they brought him like 3 guards, 3 big giants, you know what I'm saying? And he's all shackled up and all that stuff. I'm like, where the hell is he going? You know what I'm saying? You know, and they put him in this little box. They put him in this box like thing with big old glass. And then they got to call somebody to come on to his call. They be like, somebody needs to come on to Hoover's call. And then we got to wait till somebody come to sit in this other box and tell him to pick up the phone and we can start talking. Yeah. And it was sad the first time, but see, I'm used to him being in prison anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we was really happy to see each other. And then now that I go, when I be going now, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to it. I'm like, you know, I'm used to it.
You kind of you're desensitized to it at this point.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to it, but it's, you know, the hurting part is when I leave. Every time when I leave, that's the hurting part. I literally shed tears. I don't let me see it. I don't let him see it. I literally shed tears because he still be there when I'm walking out, and I look back at him. He be looking at me and just like waving and stuff. He still be sitting there because I'm taking him out the box until we leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes they come, you know, they be handcuffed and stuff while I'll be leaving or while I'm leaving or whatever. And that's the saddest part right there. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'll be back the next day. You know, it'd be like a 3-day visit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you'd be in there for 6 hours, no, 3 to 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? You know,
right.
I mean, you know, so, but that's the sad part when I leave. Yeah.
Say, so let me ask you this, even though I said that was the last question, this is truly the last question. How do you feel about this concert, and are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there. Me myself, I mean, I believe it's a good thing, but like I said, they gonna attract attention that I wanted attention. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. But, you know, it's a good thing. If we sit back and be quiet, ain't nobody gonna hear. See, it's gonna keep them in there. I think, but if we make some noise, it's the same thing. They gonna think they're gonna keep them in, and that's what I'm thinking. They're gonna keep them in anyway. We make some noise, but if we make enough noise, a lot of people, they're gonna have to let them go, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know, you know, that's what I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying, you know. But hey, I'm solely whatever it takes to get them out, I'm with it.
Right. And I support that. But at the end of the day, I don't think that I think that you guys, as far as making noise, have done a tremendous job with that. Because you can't get no bigger artists than Drake and Kanye. And it's in LA. So I think that is going to be effective. What I do believe is it just depends on how them people see it. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know how they gonna look at it. I know what you trying to do, and I know how I see it, but how they see it, that's something totally different. But in any event, man, thank you for coming on my podcast, man. We're gonna do it again. Is there anything you'd like to say? What's up with your if people want to get to you, how they get to you, like your Instagram or whatever?
Oh, like I just told you, my daughter run all that.
Oh, so you don't know that?
I don't know. I don't even look at it. You know what I'm saying? I think last night she told me I had like 1,000 followers or something. I don't know. Hey, hold on for 1 second. Hold on, I'll let you know. Hold on for 1 second. Yeah, I don't know nothing about it.
Don't even worry about it. Next time I call you, have it for me. Hey, Larry, I appreciate you being on the show, man. Good luck with Larry. Like, good luck with Larry, man. I wish you guys nothing but the best.
All right, bro.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right.